Hi guys, you're welcome to MJ Apparel tutorial. If you're new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button so you get notified whenever we post a new video. And also don't forget to like, share and drop a comment. In today's class, I'll be showing you how I made this flounce sleeve using the easiest method. It is detailed, beginner friendly and very easy to understand. So now we go into the tutorial proper. So the first thing to do is to go ahead to fold your fabric. Here I have my fabric folded into four. I'll be using two pieces for the first sleeve and the other two pieces for the other sleeve because I'll be using the same fabric as the lining. And here I have almost 1.5 yards of fabric for the flounce I'll be making. If you want a fuller flounce, you will need close to 3 yards to do that. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to fold the fabric to be equal, like a perfect square. So here I have 22 inch and I also have 22 inch at this point also. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to locate the midpoint of the fabric and mark. After marking, I'll be inserting the length of the flounce. So the length of the flounce depends on what you want, but I'll be making mine 4 inch. So I'll be marking the 4 inch at this point. I'll mark it all the way around. After marking it, I'll go ahead to draw a circle and draw this line like you see me doing in the video. So after marking this point, next thing to do is to divide what I have here by 2. I'm going to be dividing this part by 2 like this. So this is going to be the starting point for the flounce we are making. Then I'll go over to this part and divide what I have here by 2. So I have 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then I'll go in by 0.5 inch. I'll draw a slight curve like this. So this is going to be where the flounce is going to be starting from. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to start marking my 4 inch. That is the length of the flounce you're making. If yours is 5, you go ahead to start marking the 5 inch this way. You keep marking until you come back to this first circle we draw. So the flounce is coming this way. So I'll keep marking the 4 inch like this. As you can see, I've already entered this circle again. So I'll mark it all the way around. I'll keep marking the 4 inch. Keep moving my tape and marking it all the way around till I'm done marking it. So the flounce is going to be coming in this way. So I'll go ahead to do it down to the end of the fabric. So after drawing the line, this is what it's going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut it out. And when cutting, you start cutting from where the flounce ends and you cut it all the way around. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after cutting, this is what it is going to look like. The fuller the sleeve you want to make, the more the flounce you will need to cut. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to separate it. Remember I have 4 pieces here. I'm going to be using 2 pieces for one sleeve and the other 2 pieces for the other sleeve. So next I'm going to go ahead to separate them. After after separating, here we have one of the flounce for one of the sleeve. So I'm going to be illustrating with this. So make sure that your fabric is on the wrong side. That is, the good face is facing the good face. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to place my crinoline on it this way. Then I'll go over my sewing machine to sew 0.5 inch all the way around. After sewing it, I'll notch it, turn it over to the good face and give it a good press, and also close up the opening. So I'm going to go over my sewing machine to quickly do that. After doing that, I'll come back to show you the next step. So after sewing, this is what it should look like. I closed up this part and also this part. This is what you should have. I also went ahead to do the same thing to the other flounce. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to attach this flounce to the sleeve. So I'll be attaching it to these two nets, but I'll be illustrating on the paper because I'll not be able to draw on the two nets. So I'll be illustrating with this paper. So the first thing to do is to determine the length of the flounce, that is the placement of the flounce, how long you want it to be. And in doing that, you are going to be placing your tape this way and measure the length of the flounce you want. So if you want it to be 10 inch, 8 inch, 7 inch, you mark at this point. After marking, next you mark out your sewing allowance. So whatever sewing allowance you added to your sleeve, you mark it out so you don't sew on that sewing allowance, and when it comes to joining the side of the sleeve together, you find it difficult. So after doing that, the next thing to do is to come down by 0.5 inch from this part of the sleeve, because you'll be needing this space here to attach the sleeve to the main body. So you'll be marking 0.5 inch downward this way. After marking the 0.5 inch downward, the first flounce is going to be on this point you just mark. That is where your first flounce is going to be. Then the next one is going to be 0.5 inch below the first flounce. So the lesser the space, the more beautiful the flounce will come out. So you are going to mark 0.5 inch all the way like this for the second flip. So this is going to serve as a guide for you to fix the flounce. So the space between the flounce should not be more than 0.5 to 0.75 inch to get a more beautiful flounce. So you are going to be marking it this way and you sew it along this way. So when placing the flounce, you place the flounce and start sewing like this. As you are sewing, you keep making little plaits to make the flounce fuller and more beautiful. So you keep pleating and sewing all the way like this, and when you get to this part, that is before your sewing allowance on the sleeve, you are going to be turning it over to this way. You're going to be turning it over this way like this, and you keep sewing, making sure that the space between the both flounce is 0.5 inch. You keep turning it over till you are done with your fabric. So I'm going to go over my sewing machine to quickly do that. It is more easier to work with Ankara than with the two nets. So I'll quickly do that. After doing that, I'll come back to show you the next step. After fixing the flounce to the sleeve, this is what it is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking very nice and lovely already. So if you want the length of yours to be more than this, you can keep sewing to your desired length. And also the distance between each flounce should not be more than 0.5 inch to avoid having too much space in between. I've used almost 1.5 yard of Ankara for the two sleeve already. So the fuller the flounce, the more fabric it is going to consume. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to close up the sides of the sleeve using the allowance I left at this point. After closing up the side, I'll go ahead to attach the sleeve to the main gown I'm making. After doing that, I'll come back to show you what it looks like. After attaching the sleeve to the main bodice, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, it's looking very beautiful and nice. I also have a little video on how I made this corset gown up on our channel. You can check it out to see how I made this lovely gown. And if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you are yet to. And also don't forget to like, share and drop a comment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next tutorial.